Let's go fishing. Starting off the day, tossing out the jig in a different area. Now you might have seen in previous posts that I've been fishing this area quite often. With no luck on carp and catfish in my area from the bank, this is really the only area that's produced any type of fish. So after the bass jig, I tossed out the little panfish jig and back to the bass jig. Before my buddy Dan and I moved up under the bridge further up, ended up snagging the panfish jig there. And you can kind of see I had a micro type of fly lure on here my buddy Dan decided to let me use. And I wanted to take this approach because as we moved up to the bridge, the tide was going out and we noticed a lot of fish were stacked up under this bridge. I mean, we could see tons of different species just hanging out. Now, I'm not used to casting something so light, even on a medium light rod, so I kind of failed here. And the wind and the light lure ended up getting me and snagging up my line. But on the next cast, we had a fish. Hit. Fish on. It was cool because I could actually watch the fish hit. Nice little small bass to break the skunk that day. So I tossed that lure back out, kind of slowly working it, letting it flutter a little bit, and boom, another fish on. Little jump there. It was a nice little bluegill. I got to watch this one hit the lure too. Again, not bad, just trying to catch something. But as we saw bigger bass move through the area, I decided to toss out the bass jig and then kind of swap back to that little fly lure. And eventually, after I casted it more and more, I finally got another fish to bite. Let's go, fish on. Not much again, but a tiny little bluegill. With winter fishing, I'll take anything that bites the hook. Then I decided to try a jerkbait to see if any of the bass in the area would hit that. And while they wouldn't hit mine, my buddy Dan with his jerkbait had hooked up on a nice bass further down, so I went down to net it for him. I could tell it was a nice bass, but I didn't realize how nice it was, especially for this area, winter fishing, and a pressured little area like this. But as soon as it was in the net, we were stoked. Even the people around us were stoked for us. I was guessing maybe 3.5, 4 pound bass, and what do you know, look at that. Nice big bass, big belly. So I wanted to get a weight on him, and it turns out I was close, 3.48. And it was my buddy's PB in Virginia. So I got to casting the same type of lures over and over, switching to spinners and rattle traps, even moving down, but had no luck.